Hey guys, good evening everybody. This is Jagan here, and I'm host for the talk show today. So today's the topic for the talk show is four excuses, which is stopping our growth. Very interesting topic, quite stimulating, and kind of lot of discussion can happen over this topic because we will all know in life we need to move ahead, but there are certain reasons why we don't move ahead, and those are the blockers. Those are the reasons why you get stuck in life. Many point of time, it can be anything. It can be a personal problem, it can be professional problem, it can be internal issue. But what are those excuses, or what are the reasons which not allow us to grow? So today we are going to discuss on this topic, and this topic has been taken from a book which is Magic Big. So Magic of Thinking Big, if you have heard of it, it is quite old book. In fact, it was published in 1959, and obviously that time nobody was many of us are not born. And this is a self-help book written by David Schwartz, and this is one of the most famous self-help books that is told by Forbes. Forbes named it as one of the most famous and greatest self-help books. In fact, this book has sold for more than 60 lakh copies in worldwide. So there are multiple languages, multiple countries, and different publishers and everything. So what is book all about? If I tell you, the book talks about practical implementation of ideas. So it's not talk about some empty promises or some kind of theories. It talks about useful methods, and those methods, if you design such a way, you can get maximum out of your job, your parents, your life, your community, and overall from your life itself. And what this book talks about is a very important part that you do not have to have a lot of intellect, you don't need to have a lot of talent to get any success in life, to get any success, any satisfaction, any kind of to achieve your dream. What you need to understand is how to think big, how to think in a more creative way, how to get rid of excuses, and how to behave certain way to reach your goals. So today we are going to discuss about this particular chapter in this book, which is excusitis. It's a term which means excuses, giving excuses and giving reasons not to do certain things. Quite interesting. I myself went through it, and I'm, by the way, avid book reader. I represent just to represent myself a little bit more. I'm Jagan. I have been working IT for 13 plus years, and also we are part of the bigger platform which is Awakening Mind. Awakening Mind is a non-for-profit learning and development program which is designed such a way to develop people, empower people, and giving them a platform where they can also be leaders. So we have already developed multiple leaders these different states and different cities. And the part of the leadership development is also to engage in multiple talk shows, personal development programs, book clubs, and so many things, right? So today also the talk show is all about is one of the ways where we develop the next level leaders and we give empowerment, people empowerment. So today I'm very, I guess I'm very glad to welcome four guests in this discussion. So I'll just tell one by one. We have Rakesh here. Hello, Rakesh.
Hello, hi. I'm
Hi.
Rakesh Shantila Chete.
All right.
I'm
Then we have
aeronautical
yeah, to discuss.
and with
Then we have Sachi and we have Jyoti Ranjan. Say hi.
Hi, hi,
And we
hi
have
all.
Ranjan. All right. So all of us can say
Hi,
hi.
my name is
All
Niranjan. Hi.
right. So
Mm,
let's guys start with a basic intro. I know I'm glad that all of you on this time in Sunday evenings are typically lazy evenings, and today we had good rain in Bangalore, good shower. So obviously all of us feeling a little bit fresh, excited, and energetic, right? So why don't you give a small intro about yourself? You can start one by one. So we'll start with I'll go by clockwise. Start with Jyoti.
okay, so hi all. My name is Jyoti Ranjan, and I have around 10 year of experience, and I'm working in Bangalore from past 10 year. From education background, I have done BE in computer science, and after that, I have completed 1 year postgraduate diploma from Triple IT Bangalore. And yes, I'm married from last 2 year. Yeah, I'm from Bihar, Bhagalpur. So that's my hometown. That's all. Thank you.
Very
Looking
nice.
forward.
10 year experience. 10 years experience, all 10 years in Bangalore. That's awesome. I mean, very similar to me. I have worked for 14 years and all 14 years in Bangalore. That's quite good. Nice. Nice to meet you, Jyoti.
Thank
Great.
you, Jagan. Thank you. Thanks.
So next we move to Niranjan.
Hello all. Good evening. My name is Niranjan Das, and I have been in Bangalore since last 16, 17 years now. I am having around 15 years of corporate experience, and I'm also a startup entrepreneur. I'm based out of, actually, I'm from Odisha, Bhubaneswar, and I have been part of this Awakening Minds, what Jagan just described. It is a great platform that actually has, enhanced the kind of thought process that I have built. Thank you all.
Definitely great. Great to meet you, Niranjan. 15 years experience, quite senior in corporate. And yeah, that's quite good. I mean, good to know you and know more about your entrepreneurship as well. That's great. Next, we move to Rakesh.
Good evening, all. I'm Rakesh Shantila Chete, an aeronautical engineer with more than 10 years of work experience at Bangalore. Basically, I'm from Maharashtra. I'm part of this Awakening group, Awakening Minds Book Readers Club. Thank you, Jagan.
Very nice, very nice. That's awesome, Rakesh. I mean, I see people from different places now. We are from Bihar, we are from Odisha, we are from Maharashtra. So we move on to then Sasi, some other place.
Yeah. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. I'm Shashikant, and I'm basically a mechanical engineer, and I have got about 20 plus years of experience. I work in a senior leadership position in a multinational company in Bangalore, and I've been born and brought up in Bangalore itself. And I also have, to my credit, an executive MBA from IIM Bangalore. So that's about a brief about myself. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Guys, glad to meet all of you. I think all of you are quite senior in corporate. I think everybody is more than 10 years experience. That's quite great. So let's talk about a very simple thing before we start about this particular topic, excusitis. So book reading, right? So I remember the time I was in college, I was reading books or maybe class notes because I was part of a ecosystem, some university, college, and professors keep on tell us to read books because you have to pass some exams, you have to get some scores. Now after corporate, what happens? Nobody tells you to read books. In fact, if you look at in programming also nowadays everything is automated. You Google for things. There are websites where you can give you the code as well. So in this point of time, book reading is quite. I'm seeing that also because of gadgets. Gadgets. There was a time when TV was quite famous. Now gadgets have come into picture. Netflix has come into picture. There are multiple things running in people's head. Traffic is a problem. Work pressure is a problem. Family commitment is a problem. These all are this. Everybody facing the same problem. Obviously, lockdown is another new problem that's come into our life. At this point of time, looking at the situation where all of us are facing all the life challenges, I can say, how do you find guys to? I mean, why do you read books? I mean, why do you read books, and how do you find time to read books? Maybe all of you can one or two lines you can tell. So it can actually many people have. I find many people struggle for this. They tell I don't get time because I'm so busy at work, or maybe I know I'm so frustrated in life. I don't get time to do anything. But I want to know from you guys how do you actually manage to read books and why do you read books? So who want to volunteer? Anybody can volunteer. All of you can volunteer. In fact, it's open question.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
first, Jagan.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jagan, for me, it's kind of a historical in perspective. So when I was in very early school, I used to like a lot of books, and in fact, I have written a lot of articles as well when I was a very young child by reading those books. And somehow, after I got into my profession, the first 10 years of my life, I totally forgot reading, and I actually started picking up the habit of reading books about 3 or 4 years back. When I talk about books, it's not only the self-help books or the books related to my favorite subjects like strategy or operations, but I also enjoy deeply reading articles from Harvard Business Review and other things. And what keeps me motivated to read books is the very thrill of learning something new is really fascinating, and ever since, and I really enjoy, and I always also like to share my whatever the things that I've learned. I'd like to share it with others as well. So this is my takeaway from the books. Thank you.
Great. Oh, it's quite good to know that more somebody having that much of experience, 20 plus years, but you believe in giving it back to society, empowering people, and creating an impact. I mean, that's very interesting. I'm glad, Sasi. It's a good statement. So who's the next one who want to volunteer? You understand my two questions, right? Why do you want to read? Why do you read? Second thing is how do you find time for reading books? Yes. Yes, Rakesh. I think you raised your hand, I guess.
Yeah, from childhood, I believe the Marathi thought "Vachal tar vachal" means if you read, you are going to save yourself. And in English also, there is good thought that today's readers are tomorrow's leaders. And
Awesome.
many ways, books have helped me. I have got solutions on from those. There is another say that thousands books are sorry, one book sometimes is giving more than 1,000 people to you.
Perfect.
That's
Perfect.
it.
Readers, right? So knowledge you get from the book is quite, we all know that, quite prominent knowledge, a lot of knowledge you get, and that actually helps you to grow in life. Great, Rakesh, that's very impactful. Who's the next one?
Yeah, I'll
Niranjan?
go.
Yes, why not?
I'll go, Jyoti. Okay. So yeah, I have been reading books. I would rather call it by 7, 8 years before, but I was not a regular reader. What I used to do, I'm telling frankly, I have never told. So what I used to do, I used to buy a book and just keep it on the shelf. Okay. So in habit of reading book, how I started, I wrote some blog. Okay. So that was since it was mostly on related to what my role. So my first blog was how it is how is the life of QA when you're working in an IT company. So I wrote what are the problem or what are the issue you face. Then slowly I took my first book was it was since I bought the new book, so it was on the novel part. So anything for you for you, ma'am. So that is how I started reading. Then later on, I bought a book written by Dale Carnegie, A Leader in You. Slowly, and then I read Power of Positive Attitude. And then once I joined the book club, that helped me to read it on a regular basis. And what I can see changes. So I feel something is missing from me if I don't read anything in a day. I feel I have not spent the quality time with myself. So I somehow, or it has become a habit or routine for me that at least 1 hour I'd give myself and I'll read the chapters or any books. I prefer mostly non-fiction or self-help book, starting with other book like Magic of Thinking book has been my fourth book after joining the book club. Then slowly I have also started implementing in my life and I can see the changes which I'm going through. So yeah, I'm happy to be part of this group. So thank you, Jagan. Yeah, these are my experience, what I have gone through reading
Awesome.
books.
So finding 1 hour per day is awesome thing. That's quite not easy, but obviously everything has a solution if you look for a solution. If you look for a problem, you get a problem. If you look for a solution, you look for a solution. You get a solution in fact. Great, guys. So glad to meet all of you and welcome to the talk show today. So let's discuss on a couple of pointers. So this is something, again, talking from the book, which is Magic of Thinking Big. I hope all of us have gone through the book as well. Okay. So if I ask a question, so we're talking about excusitis. This excusitis term was new to me. In fact, I only know excuses. But excusitis is a different word. I don't know which language it is. But somehow it could connect me because both are similar, sound similar. So what is excusitis, by the way? Is it something excuse or something else? Maybe you can elaborate more on that.
I would go ahead with it. So, from my understanding, what I would call it. So, excusitis is consist of two words. Excuse. So we all know what is excuse, a reason or explanation, just to given to justify, or just giving giving seeking to lessen the blame, attaching to something, trying to justify that I don't want to do, giving excuse. It can be anything, and then ITIS, so it is. So that is going by the medical terminology. The inflammation of something. Let's say we have a disease, so we'll get infection inside our body, or when there's an insect bite or anything, our skin get inflammation. So what happens? Excusitis, when you include both, it becomes a disease. So it's a excuse disease. So which keeps on happening to you if you continue giving excuse on a day-to-day basis or on a regular basis. So that is how excuse becomes. So that is my understanding from excusitis. Maybe others can also add.
Definitely. Definitely. So Jyotiranjan had a good
Yeah.
point, good excusitis. So anybody want to add something on top of what he told or you have a different view, you can always
Yes,
counter.
yes, I can add.
Definitely, why not?
Yeah, means excusitis is, I can say it's more dangerous than corona currently. People are blaming, or it's a national pastime. or you can say it's a universal disease before than corona. If you read in parallel other books, Think and Grow Rich book of Napoleon Hill, and the last chapter of that book, he says there are 55 alibis. Alibis is nothing but law term, which is which means that reason of crime. Yes, excuses is nothing but reason of crime for your success. You are not going ahead because you are doing that crime. So he has listed out the 55 alibis. I will suggest to all to read the 55 list. And today we are categorizing 4. We will go through that. Thanks.
All right, that's good.
And the other thing is this disease happens only to the human beings.
Yeah.
Because unless this actually to a success, you have the stepping stones as the failures. If you don't take these failures, as part of your process towards success, then you keep giving these excuses, and that becomes a disease in long term.
That's good. So something in short term becomes long term problem. Good, guys. So I think all of you have I mostly covered things. So let's discuss about this. So excusitis, what kind of how many types of excuse? Is it like one type or two type? How many types of excusitis are there?
There are, on a broader scale, if we go, there are so many excusitis. Okay, but going by the book, what David Suarez says. So there are 4 on a high level base excusitis. So start with first is health excusitis,
Okay.
and second is intelligence excusitis. So that is more on your mind part. Third is everyone has an age excusitis. Okay, we grow old and we don't want to do anything. Okay, and the last, which is most of the time, we whether we are a student or we are a working employee or whatever, we say that my luck was not good. So the last one is luck excusitis. So there are 4: health, intelligence, age, and luck excusitis.
Quite interesting, guys. I mean, it's quite difficult to categorize, but I think the book has done good job, and you guys also told the right thing that there are 4 types of excusitis. So let's discuss about each of them because 4 types of mind all are different. Health is different, luck is different, and other one is age and intelligence. All 4 are 4 different things. So this each of category need to discuss more and do more brainstorming. So how about let's talk about health excusitis. What is health excusitis? Anybody wants to throw some light?
Yeah, I'll go with health exercises.
Yes.
So health exercises, it ranges from the way, like, I don't feel good, and I got such and such wrong with me. I'm not feeling well starting with the day. So let's say you want to do a task and which is supposed to be completed by today. So we say, no, I don't want to do. I'm not feeling well. We give excuses. I'm not feeling well, so I cannot do it. And being bad health in 1,000 different forms, it is used as an excuse for failing to do what a person wants to do. So if we see, these are the characteristics of unsuccessful people, or it is common to other people also. Whenever we want to see, whenever we consult with any successful people, if you look in the history, they never talk about their bad health and everything. Whatever be it, they might be handicapped or they are having fever. But while they are in a show or they are giving speech, they never say that I'm having high fever of 100 degree, or I had a diabetes, or I met with something and something. So they don't give excuse related to. So that is where health exercises is something. So we keep on saying that I'm not feeling well, and we finding excuses on that. So that is what health exercise means.
So giving a health as a reason for not to do certain things. So anybody wants to add
Yes.
on that, or you have more
Because
questions?
in corporate, if you see, usually this is the first preference, reason. So when somebody doesn't want to come to office or working from home easily, so easily the statement comes, "I'm not keeping well." Okay, so that is a very
Very
commonly
good
used
example.
statement, or you can say. So basically, when you keep using the same excuse, maybe it becomes excusate. That's what.
Yes.
So
I
this is a
can
very favorite statement in any corporate world.
I mean, we get mails so every alternate day, I'm not feeling well, I'm not coming to office. So it's a valid thing. So now I'm feeling that, actually, I didn't understand with the health, who can gives a health as an excuse. But now I'm getting the point. Anybody else has want to ask any questions to Jyoti? Or you want to add on
People
something?
give health excuse with height, weight, or color of skin. Many excuses are there in this health.
Correct, correct. Yeah. So some
Yeah.
people say that, I give an example. I've seen this in my school days. I remember there are some people say that, okay, this exam I should not try. Why should I try? They're checking for eye power, and I have a very high eye power. So these certain public companies, public sector companies, they will not hire me. In fact, that is a rule, I guess. Some of the public sector companies like NTPC, then I think BHL or some companies, they have some, your eye power should be checked. I think every company does that. But if you have very high eye power, then there's some challenge. But people give excuses. Some people say that, I'm short height, so I should not try for certain things. I mean, but I've seen people are very, I mean, I've seen people who have got into PSUs and also they have done that laser treatment as well before the interviews. So I mean, it's all based on the person who actually thinks something is possible, it's not possible. So that's true. I agree.
Yeah, and maybe I would like to add a little to what Jyoti had mentioned. So, Jyoti was kind of articulating on a very high level as to what health excusitis means. But I look at it from a very subtle point of view. Say it happens almost like every day when you get up, you know you have a routine to follow. And when you get up in the morning, I mean, the first thing you need to do is is an exercise. But many times you kind of feel that okay, today I think I have a bad headache or a backache, so let me take it easy. And then
Yeah.
once you set that process, and then every day it kind of you find a similar kind of excuse every time.
That's true. I think that's true. Actually, health is one of the excuses we give. As you said, for exercise, we give. Let me fall sick, and you tell me I'm not feeling good and I could not get time to do exercise. Yeah, that's quite a valid point. Great, guys. Great. Anybody wants to add something on top of this, or I think there is something like, I also remember the book when I was reading. There are certain illness feelings, right? We have some kind of. For example, I'll tell you like this current situation, right? Corona. Okay, just give an example. I somehow feel that we are little getting more scared, too little. I mean, more than required, right? Don't you feel if a current situation in pandemic, though there is susceptibility is there, but there's sudden. I think this is creating more panic, and there are some excuses we're giving. For an example, I'll tell you an example how it happened. So recently, I ordered something through online, some vegetables and something, right? And we felt the Mosambি 1 kg, whatever we ordered online, it was actually not 1 kg, it was 500 grams. Okay. And if you had gone to the shop, which is hardly half kilometer away, I could have got 1 kg stuff. But because it's an online thing, you don't know how much they're giving, what they're doing. So you feel cheated sometimes. And I don't know. I mean, this is related to health or it's a mindset. I don't know, but there is some kind of we feel that we'll fall sick if we go out. Sudden fear has come up. In fact, you're not going out and you get a sunlight as well. Some people are so much scared. Some people are not going out and feel the sunlight. So I guess, do you feel in current situation, I mean current pandemic thing, there is excuse not to do certain things? In fact, some companies, I'll tell you how it's happening is they are recently in our company. In fact, they told that 10% people can come to office, but actually 10% did not turn up itself. Only 10 people turned up, and I mean, people say no, I should not go, this and that, and and only know that our work is also important. That gives you salary and everything. You actually go to office, do things. There is some fear is obviously genuine, but do you feel in current situation the health excuse is something which is not allowing us to give our 100% potential? What do you guys say? What is your opinion on this?
Yes, exactly. So this basically has become basically a habit that we keep giving the health as an issue. But moreover that, anyway, this is part of parcel, because anyway you cannot even deny that, considering the kind of the and the environment, the climatary conditions and all. So even nobody can deny that there will be a problem. Maybe there are certain times that you will have that issue. But thing is that even if there is an excuse, right, what are uh, the other ways actually to tackle them? That is the one thing that we need to come across. That what are the things that can be there, so that we can actually handle these excuses of health.
Correct. I think that's a valid point. We should not look at a problem. We know there's a problem which is existing. We should look at a solution. What are things we need to do? We can encounter this sort of problem, right? And that's very valid. Good, guys. So I'm glad with the feedback you have given. But let's talk about. We understand the excuses right now. Now, what are the remedies? If I ask you, what exactly, or maybe how you. By the way, did you discuss about any experience in your life in health excuses? Did you personal experience anything you have? You have to add some personal experience to this. Like I said, few examples. Anything from your side?
Yeah, as I said, like it is a day-to-day
I know about what you told.
event.
That
Yes.
happens to some people. Have you given an excuse by the way sometimes? I have given excuses by the way. Many times I don't feel like going to office, I want to stay home. So I send a message to my manager, I'm not feeling well today. How do you take off? Actually we have done this. All of us have, I think that's a
Even
personal
sometimes, even sometimes we have done, or rather, I have done in while going for a morning walk, maybe. Right. So
Yes.
okay, maybe sometimes in the last couple of days, like if at all go a little late to bed, then it is difficult.
Yeah.
But the difficulty is in your mind, like because I have gone to bed at 2 o'clock, so definitely I will not be able to get up tomorrow by 6 or 7 max. Okay, so that's all in mind.
This is Niranjan is telling from today's experience. Today he did not turn up for the
Yes,
workout. And he said,
exactly.
at 2:30 I was working, so I could not come. I was tired. Okay, no issues. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
valid. But we
Yeah.
discuss about the thing. Now we know the problem. We all have become contributing to that problem as well in different point of time. We are also giving excuses, and we all are humans. We are also make human as error is all too human, right? So what is the solution right now? If you talk about remedies, and Jyoti, can you suggest something how somebody can actually come out of this excuses?
Sure. So, Jagan, before that, I would like to talk about myself, my
Okay.
excuses for not joining the yoga session. Okay. So, so
Okay,
I
okay. You did not turn up. Okay, that day.
then I will
Okay.
go for the cure part. Okay. I just missed it by talking about that.
Not an issue, not an issue. It's
I
good that we are agreeing on certain points. That's important. It's a good enough. It shows that we know the problem actually. Sometimes people know but they don't talk about it.
so
You,
I
yeah.
people in Bangalore, obviously, most of us would be having some coughing and sneezing problem once you wake up in the morning. So that becomes a typical excuse for you for not getting up in the morning. But again, if you get a mail from your office that this is a mandatory session which you guys have to attend, or something which you should, if you want to improve your health, then you start attending it. So what I used to give excuse this. So one of my friend, so he is from Art of Living, so he used to say, please do this session. It will be good. It will be helpful for you. So I would say, no, no, yeah, I have sneezing problem. And whenever I get up in the morning, I need to clear my nose and all. It keeps on happening on a regular basis. Then again, he said, try it, yeah, try it. So there's a paid session. And since this is a COVID situation going on, so we are running off 50% of discount. So in mind, so whenever we heard about 50% discount, okay, okay, then it is good. And you don't have to go anywhere. It will be Zoom session. Okay. It's like Suhaga for you. So what I did, I registered it and I attended the session. And 4 day I was getting up in the morning and I was doing it on a regular basis. And I can see the changes. So we went to the session and yeah, there's a change which has happened. So there are some other thing also involved to it, but yeah, we have to take decision how to fight for the health excuse or whatever health you have. So we need to live with it. Okay, it is not that we need to keep on telling that yeah, I have health issue, I have that issue, those issue. Those if we keep on telling, then we will never become a successful person. And then
Correct.
coming from the and some history also I would like to add, Jagan. So
Mhm.
if we go on the past, like everyone would have known about Franklin Roosevelt. Okay, so he at the age of 39 he had a paralysis. Okay, he got a paralytic illness, and then he was a governor at that time. So during that time he till 32 1932 he was governor, and then in 1933 April 12th he was elected at 22nd president of US. Though he was paralytic, he was sitting on the wheelchair. He was one of the best president of US that time. So that health cannot be excuse for anyone. And he was a president till 1945. So a person having paralysis on a wheelchair can run for 12 years. So why can't we having me or anyone having cough problem or diabetic problem or any other thing? Why can't we do? So health excuse is just a simple excuse, but don't show that we can do many more things with having any kind of health also.
That's great. I think I
Right.
remember some story of Winston Churchill also. He also was on wheelchair or something. I just faintly remember, not very well. I think there are some challenges. The other person, I think, his name is Nick. I think I've seen some videos. He doesn't have limbs. He doesn't have hands. Doesn't have legs, and he's very
Yes.
famous speaker. I think Nick something is his name. In YouTube, you can get a lot of videos. He's one of them.
And Stephen Hawkins also is having
Yeah,
a great
yeah,
example.
correct.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean, there are like Helen Keller also. I think he was deaf and blind or
Yes.
something. And I think
Yes.
there are people who have much bigger problems in life. I've seen people who in a couple of days back I was looking for some workout videos. I saw one guy with one single hand. He was not having the other hand. He was lifting one what do you call that? Big weight. He was lifting with single hand. I was thinking, man, all of us have huge potential. But some point of time, giving small excuses like what Jyoti correctly told, some sneezing problem, some cough problem. Though we have everything, God has given us so many things in 100% fitness. But of small here and there reasons and we're giving, and which is actually stopping our growth some point of time. I agree what you guys are talking. That's great.
Yeah, Jagan, probably I would like to add a couple of perspectives from my own this thing. So when I kind of deep dive as to why people actually go in for health excusitis, I look at it like this. So the thing is that when say you're talking about exercise, so if you do not do an exercise for a particular for one particular day, it actually really doesn't make a difference. But if you continuously not do that, it will have a serious impact on your being. So the thing is that what people actually say, okay, Aj will not do this exercise today, so nothing is going to happen. But inside your body, actually, there is a lot of changes. That is, the body wants that exercise, and I don't have to emphasize more on the fact that a healthy mind, a healthy body leads to a healthy mind, and it's like a vicious virtuous cycle, because if you have a healthy mind, you have a healthy body, and then if you have a healthy body, it automatically leads to a healthy mind. So this is a circle that I'm kind of looking here. And another example that probably I would like to quote of a person whom I really admire is a dancer. Actually, she's a dancer. She's a Telugu actress, and her name is Sudha Chandran. And amazing thing. So when she was around 14 or something, she had an accident and she lost both her legs. And the way she has actually used Jaipur legs and then built this whole performer of Bharatanatyam dance in the sequence is a really inspiration to everybody. I think that is a takeaway that I want to leave the everybody with. Yeah.
Good, I think good example of Sudha Chandran, and that actually shows up that people have overcome excuses and they have done something bigger than
Also,
what.
I'll just add one point here.
Yes.
There is a say, if you heard of it, the thoughts are the things. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when you see like you have some physical anomalies and you keep thinking about it, it basically grows. Okay, so
Yeah.
the point here is, if you see the body, in our body, every cell or the blood organs, everything, they get changed. Okay, and if you keep remembering the problems that you have in your body, basically about, I'm talking about the physical part of it. Okay, so you are not allowing it to get it changed. I have heard of it somewhere, or I have read it through it. So as much as you think of any problem, or for that matter, any good thing or bad thing, it keeps happening. So in a negative part, if you keep thinking about anything negative that has happened to you, it will keep growing. So today I was seeing a video saying that now we are talking about every time, whether it is externally or internally, or all about corona. So corona is not going away actually. Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
basically we're attracting something which we don't want. So instead of, we should attract what we want. So that way actually we can come across. I mean, can just
Correct. I mean, that's a valid point. We cannot stop moving around because Corona is there. We have to move around. We have to live with people, right? So, yeah.
Yes,
I would like to add the secret book of Rhonda Byrne.
exactly. Yes.
Main chapter of that book is Secret of Health. If you are thinking about your health, it will you should be positive about that, and you have to visualize your healthy life day by day. You should not think about your height or your physical color, because all people have concurred on that.
Awesome. Very good. I think good example from Secret. That's good. Good. I think we have now understood the topic. We understood examples. People have overcome it. But what do you suggest? Do you have any high-level remedy solution, Jyoti, or do you feel what we discussed is good enough?
No, there are, apart from that, we talk. So, going by the book, I would also, authors suggest on four types of, there are four doses. Obviously, when we are ill, we go to doctor and take medicines. That is how we get cured, right? So, there are four
Yes.
kind of medicine. So, first one is refuse to talk about your health. So, don't say that you are, as I explained, others was also explaining. Don't say that you are not well or something like that. So, the more you talk about your health, even the common cold, it the worse it seems to get. Okay, so talking bad about your health condition, so it's like putting fertilizer on the weed. So if you put fertilizer, it's more about putting fertilizer on the weed, and whatever we are putting in the mud, so it grows. Okay, so the weed will the fertility of the soil becomes bad. So beside that, talking about your health is a bad habit. So it can it appears to be making you a self-centered people. Okay, so success minded people, they never talk about their health part. And what other thing author says that one may get a little sympathy, but that doesn't but one does not get respect and loyalty by say talking about that they are not well or they have some problem, this thing and that. So that is the first one. Second is to refuse to worry about your health. So uh, always never get worried about your health. Whatever the task or whatever the activity you want to do, you please do it. Okay, don't get stopped that I'm not well or not well going through this. Third one, I would rather say that be genuinely grateful that your health is as good as it is. So there's an old saying that I feel sorry for myself because I had rugged shoes until I met a man who had no feet. So so you cannot say that. Okay, just being grateful for the health you have, a power you have is a powerful vaccination against developing new issues and pain and real illness. And the fourth one, to sum up, to the last one is always remind yourself that it's better to wear out than rust out. So we should life is ours. Okay, so life is yours to enjoy. Don't waste it. Don't pass it by living up things yourself in hospital bed. So that is what. And one quote I would like to talk about on the life part. I today I got a pop up in the mobile. So how we should enjoy the life is like life is a coin. You can spend it any way you wish, but you only spend it once. So you have a coin, you will only spend it once. So while spending it, please spend it on a useful thing so that you can stay healthy and longer for a longer time. Stay healthy. That's it from
Awesome.
my side.
I think good point.
Exactly.
It all start with the most important point, as Jyoti told. Don't talk about it. The time you say, I think, taken from the again the book Secret, I guess. The time
Yeah.
you talk
Yes.
about some negative things, you will attract the negative things. So if you talk about positive, my health is good, I am feeling better, I don't have any problem. Then what happens is you obviously get better because it's a law of attraction where beliefs, the thoughts actually create things, right? I think quite
Yeah.
very good. Anybody wants to add on something, or we are good to go to the next exercise?
So basically, when we get up, from bed, it is always to be, to show that, the gratitude, that has to be there. Like I am healthy, so
Yeah.
that has very good impact. What I have seen of late, since some days, like you need to thank for everything, because when you get up from the bed, possibly in the world there are few thousands people who could not actually get up from the bed that day. So it is always, we should be grateful to the Lord or to the Almighty or to your family or the that we are breathing that day, or whatever we have today. So it is all about showing that gratitude, that will actually bring the positive thinking. And that way, as we said, from the book Secret, so it brings
Yes.
you whatever you think.
Perfect. Very interesting. That's actually very nice to discuss. All right. I think we're good to go. The next topic, which is the next exhibit is
Intelligence
Okay.
exercises.
intelligent. Yeah, intelligent. Yeah. Yeah, all the brainy people are there right now. We are discussing. That's good. I like it. So, who want to volunteer
Yeah.
for the topic?
Okay.
Kiran?
Okay. Let me guide. So it is intelligence executives is basically maybe I'm not, maybe you are. The thinking is I don't have that brain. Maybe you are able to do it. Possibly you have that brain, or you are lucky enough to have that kind of exposure. Maybe you have a family background which might have given you that exposure. So it is that kind of exposure. Like I must I try to underestimate my willpower. I underestimate my intelligence, and eventually I try to overestimate the other person's you know their brain power or their state of the intelligence. So this is a common, means as we discussed from the health point of view. So being intelligence or not, that is another important aspect of this exquisites. Okay. So the thinking that guides your intelligence is much more important than how much intelligence you may have it actually. So what really matters is it is not about how much intelligence that I might have, but whether I'm using that to that extent or not. So that is that maybe we are not able to estimate, or we are not able to understand how much I have. So we are much more worried than whether I have or not.
So, we are basically worried about the lack of something rather than being happy with what we have already.
Yes,
I mean,
maybe we're not able to estimate that how much if I have, or you know.
yes, yes, and that's quite interesting actually. I think all of us can relate. I have also given this experience many times. Probably we can discuss more, but I want to all of you to say in a certain way how is something you want to add on what is said, or maybe you want to give examples. How it
Yes,
has.
intelligent execucitis is almost 95% in the world, as per the
Mhm.
statistics. Everybody secretly thinks that the person is superior or inferior than me. Always there is a comparison in the mind. Sometimes there is a community which says our community is intelligent and your community is not intelligent. And that other community also feels that we are not intelligent and we are from that particular community. We have to work physically hard and not by brain. Such a thing happens. This is excuse only.
Okay, good. So you're telling 95% is already there in the society. It's from people have that either they about it's not our individual, it's not talking at community level also is happening. So how we are better than somebody, some other communities.
Yeah.
That's
But another
very
thing is, when we actually compare ourselves with others, we don't see the other's effort has gone to be, how much he or she has been successful in life. What we see there, actually, we just compare ourselves with their or his or her present. So then in that case, we always see that, okay, he or she might have that intelligence or more exposure, which I may not have it. But
correct.
we need to see like whether that person might have come across many difficulties, or he or she might have put so much effort to reach to that present situation.
I think that's a very point. What Niranjan also telling that. yes, you do compare with people, and but you don't understand what they have gone through. हम सोचते हैं गलती से मिल गया या तो he was lucky or kind of he got some. I think it happens when it is corporate. I guess I mean that's to be a personal experience because it many times it happens. People feel कि यार suddenly उसको promotion मिल गया, उसको ज़्यादा hike मिल गया. This numbers will always keep coming. No, कुछ आता नहीं है उसको
Even-
coding करना नहीं आता, एक line नहीं लिख पाता है, but he got 30% hike and I'm working so much I got only 20%. The people get frustrated. But people never think you're creating something. I really get surprised. For example, if I think of just not my what is given to me, I'll finish it. Let me within the company or maybe outside. Why don't I try something doing? You know, something maybe some new innovation, some new idea. And I still limit myself if I'm thinking about just a promotion, just a percentage number, or within a visibility within a certain numbers. I think that is quite, we underestimate ourselves. We think that is, I think, I don't know whether it's intelligent explanations or not, but yeah, some kind of comparison is always there. Sometimes people say that, okay, he was intelligent, that's why I got into this college. I was not intelligent. मेरे को मतलब I was never intelligent. My parents never taught me, or maybe I had इतना दिमाग नहीं मेरे पास. So I think that is how they limit their potential. What do you guys say? I
Yeah.
think sir say something.
So, Jagan, I'd like to add so what you were telling. So here, what exactly author talks about by going through the book, it says that we underestimate our brain power. Okay, so we always
Correct.
underestimate what we our brain power, and we overestimate the other brain power. So we feel that the person with whom we are working, he or
Hmm.
she is more intelligent. Okay, so that's
Correct.
reason no, no, let us not do take this coding or don't take this initiative. This guy knows and he has 15 years of experience. So that doesn't matter. You are
Correct.
a fresher or you have 6 month experience. You can also do it. So don't stop yourself by taking initiatives. That doesn't matter. Okay. So how
Correct.
we take it? Book also talks about knowledge is power, but knowledge simply is cannot be power. If we need to use it in a constructive way, then only it can be helpful for you. It doesn't matter you hold a PhD degree or a undergraduate or a graduate. As long as you're
Yes.
not doing anything or not implementing it correctly, then you're not worth of it. So that is what my understanding of intelligence related. Maybe Sasi wanted to add something. Please.
Yeah, yeah. So again, I kind of look at it in a different manner, and these things I've actually picked it up from a very profound author. His name is Edward de Bono, and when I was reading about Edward de Bono, he was talking about kind of people giving a lot of emphasis towards intelligence, but actually, what the author says is the emphasis should be given to thinking rather. And he gives a very beautiful example there where he says that intelligence is just like a car. Okay, and the thinking is the emphasis should be given to the thinking, and the thinking is compared to a driver. So if you have good thoughts, if you have got those positive thoughts, if you've got those good thoughts which actually take your intelligence in the direction in which you want to set your goals towards. So this is something I think we should be very carefully have in mind when we are talking about intelligence, this kind of excusitis.
Very nice, good example. Intelligence is actually a car, and the thoughts are the driver. I think that actually talks a lot of.
Great, great thoughts, guys.
Yeah,
I would
while
like to
driving,
add that
you sometimes
intelligence,
is.
intelligent quotient,
Uh-huh.
intelligent quotient is acts 20% in your life, but emotional quotient or social quotient acts 80% in your life. So many
Correct.
people who have not studied itself or they are dropped out from their school or college life, they have done wonders in life from Ambani to Bill Gates. You know examples, and some people feel that the person is older and that's why he is more intelligent. But we should learn from from younger people, or if we can teach to elders also if they are allowing. I feel.
Definitely, definitely. I think quite makes sense what you guys are talking about. I mean, there's a comparison always running in the corporate or within ourselves. It's because you have gone through the academics process of surpassing others. In the school also they teach you if you don't become a topper, you will not get a next college. That means I have to defeat another 30, 40 people to be next level, right? So that kind of mindset is always there. That's why our mind is always limited. The most educated people, the intelligent people, generally are, sometimes underestimate themselves is because they're feeling. Sometimes it happens also because, whatever we have learned, that's not being applied in our life. In real life, something else happens. So we study hard, get a job, and you think that this is the same thing. If I do, I'll get a next level, next level. It doesn't happen. Many times, you know what? More than intelligence, as somebody I think one of you pointed out, it's not about intelligence. It's all about the application of that. I think Jyoti told the application of knowledge is more power than just a knowledge. And knowledge is
Yes.
theory, but applied knowledge, specialized knowledge is much more powerful. I mean, that is where I think many of us are missing out. We are mostly focused on general knowledge, the degrees, certificates, those things, and that we are not understanding the application of the knowledge. Quite makes sense, guys. Glad. So now let's talk about some solutions as well. Obviously, we'll talk about any other examples you want to add. But Jyoti, what is? I think Niranjan started, right? Niranjan, what do you say? I
Yeah.
mean, what is the solution for this problem?
Yeah. In this book, the author actually suggests a few ways how you can cure this intelligence excusates. So one of them is, as we discussed earlier, also Jyoti repeated that as well, saying that never underestimate your own intelligence, and
Mhm.
similarly, never overestimate others as well. Okay, that way we're actually making ourselves down. Okay, which is not necessary, because intelligence is all about application, as Jyoti was saying. So it is all about how you implement that intelligence, not that I have intelligence. I remember there was a photo in some WhatsApp group. It came like the photo shows that there is a tiger sitting, okay, and there are a few dogs there running. Might be if in the first look you'll see that the tiger is not running and dogs are running. So the tiger is not thinking about running with the dogs, because it is all about that only. Why should I compete with these dogs? So it is
Yes.
all about implementing that wherever it is required, and it is you know that necessary. I'll use that intelligence, not unnecessarily. I think in the same book we have a small story. The story suggests that it is told that the great scientist Einstein was once asked, "How many feet are there in a mile?" The Einstein's reply was, "I don't know. Why should I fill my brain with facts that is already there? I can find it in 2 minutes,
Hmm.
in my reference book, or I'll just calculate it. Why should I remember that?" So we need not actually fill our brains with what is there already. So just you need to have new thinking. That is what the intelligence is all about.
That's quite interesting. I mean, the major understanding is that why should I compete with anybody else? Because the time I compete with somebody else, I'm actually not understanding my own potential. I'm thinking possibly he's the reference point. Why don't I keep a different
Yes.
reference point? Why don't I put my own reference point other than setting a standard on behalf of somebody? I think that makes a lot of difference. I mean, if the same mindset everybody develops, we will not compare what others are doing. We will think about ourselves and how to improve ourselves. That's a good point, Niranjan. Anybody wants to add on something or you want to ask any question to Niranjan on this?
Okay. There are a few other points what author is also describing. Uh, it is all about I have to relocate my attitude, which is more important than my intelligence. The attitude has a more weightage than what my intelligence is all about. So I must keep reminding myself every time, as I said in the beginning, that we must be affirmative. We must affirm that what exactly I want to be and what I want to perform. Okay, instead of rather than looking at others. So that is the second point in author's remedies, that you must remind yourself and keep reminding that it is my attitude which matters most than my intelligence.
That's interesting.
So
Your attitude, yeah, attitude is the most
yeah.
important part. Great.
I would like to add one thing here,
Yes,
Niranjan.
Yes, Jyoti.
One second. So
definitely.
my suggestion on the, so I read it on the book. Okay, I have already talked with Jagan on this. The rudest book ever. Okay, so written by Swetav Gangwar. Okay, so he talks about that. Don't go with the feeling based. Okay, so let's say if you go with the thinking. So that is what makes you a better person, and that is where your brain starts working. So go with the thinking based, and that makes you a better person.
Good point. Short and sweet. Thinking makes more
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, don't just Google it anything. So if I ask you anything, don't Google it. First try to think from yourself. Give few minutes for you and think about it and give the answer. Don't just Google it directly. So that is where your brain start working, and yeah, as others was also saying, so it makes your brain healthy also.
That's a very point. Because many times
I think that brings to me that a portion from the Three Idiots movie when
Yeah,
Amir Khan takes the class. Actually, you know, he gives the very bigger.
yeah,
People keep looking into the books and all across.
great, great. I think that's quite good example of all these things. Yeah, good. I mean,
Okay.
I'm finding very good, interesting points. We all can improve ourselves or maybe others in that way. All right.
Yes.
So, anything else on this
So
point? Or
yeah, as I just told about Einstein's story. So
Mhm.
from that, there is another point. The author says that remember that the ability to think is much greater than the ability to memorize facts. When the facts are already there, why to memorize them? Instead, they keep doing greater things, add greater value to yourself. So that will also add value to yourself as well. Building help. It will help building yourself.
Nice.
Good.
So that way you create and develop different ideas and to find new and better ways in life to succeed.
Good points. Being creative, think about yourself, think about being, value add. But Niranjan to last point, all these things I think more or less towards creating a different you, a new you of
Right.
yourself. The time you are just having another point as your reference point, you are going towards him, building a new you, and where all the things are different, and obviously you'll be reaching your maximum potential. I think God has
Right.
saying right. God doesn't make any junk. It's all about we ourselves think we are junk, but God has not made any junk. So how do you put your talent and how do you utilize yourself is more important, and other than comparing yourself with others.
yeah. There's a
Great.
story. Yeah, 130. So there's a story about Henry Ford also in the chapter. So wherein
Uh-huh.
he there's a fire, there's some complaint against him, and they keep on asking about this thing when this was done. Who is that? So he says, I don't need to answer those. I know the people who can answer
You
it
can ask.
easily. So and I understand. So through him, through if I talk to this guy, this work will be done. So be as a leader, you should have a people management skill also, and that is where it helps you. You don't keep on adding which is already stored somewhere in database or somewhere. You can go and fetch it anytime. So that is where intelligence helps you to grow.
Definitely,
Right.
definitely. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Good point. Good discussion, guys. I'm enjoying this discussion. I hope all of you are enjoying.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
good,
Right.
good. So now that's ended the point. We can move to next topic. And next one is age, right? Age excusitis.
Yeah, maybe I
Why?
will take Jagan.
Definitely.
Thank you. So I'd like to keep this age excusitis a little pretty simple. And basically, as Jyoti had mentioned in the beginning, it is basically a disease. And we always think either it has got basically two forms. One is that we will be thinking that I am too old for this, or you may be on the other side of the spectrum where you may be thinking that I'm too young for this kind of attitude. You may be thinking, and because of this, you lose lot of opportunities. And the biggest problem with what I realized from my understanding of what is written in the book is that when people start giving that age excusitis as a reason, they will end up with a very mediocre performance in life. So that is where wherever you see, whenever you find a person or an organization who is actually in various phases of their thing, they may be thinking that oh, we are too small an organization that we can't scale up the things. Or they may be thinking on the other side of the spectrum, they may large companies also think, oh, we are too old to kind of do such to be so agile or so nimble kind of thing. So this is kind of very detrimental to where the progress happens. The other thing is, because people associate this disease with themselves, they have closed. What they do not realize is that they have closed a lot of opportunities for themselves in the in real life, and. It's kind of very surprising and strange. I have also been a victim of it, and I will talk about it by giving a few of my examples, maybe in a few minutes from now. So this is how I set the context open for the age excusitis.
Good point. So I'm too old for something, I'm too young for something. So yeah, I think that summarizes a lot of things in this discussion. Anybody wants to add any questions, put any questions to Sasi, or maybe you want to add something about what he said?
Usually in a normal scenario, 40 is considered to be a delayed age actually to start anything that you want to start up with.
Yes.
Usually I'm almost 40, so I cannot do this. Maybe you can start something. Okay, so this is the first expression when usually the age, there are slabs. So anything that you want to start, so 40, 20, all these are different slabs for starting anything. Okay, so
All right.
and sometimes there are situations where at 20 or the people who are starting just after their graduation, or the next step of or searching for a job or anything, so it becomes another slab for doing something very early.
So I think that's a valid point. What I just relate to what Niranjan has told. I see bachelors. They think, okay, I don't want to do this because अभी time नहीं है, बहुत अच्छा ऐश करते हैं, enjoy करते हैं, बाद में देखेंगे, right? That is a procrastination. I think is a problem here for bachelors. I mean, less experienced people looking for a bigger goal. People are more experienced people. They have kind of an inferiority complex. This all connected to the same thing, but they feel, man, I am already too old. What can I do? I'm gone almost. So I think inferiority complex and other cases procrastination. This is why we're stuck. Either way, we are not reaching our goals in that way, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sasi, want to add something? Or
Yeah, I would like to add my next thought on this, Jagan. So the question is, now that we have understood what is this age excusitis, the question is, how do you handle this thing? How do you solve this problem? Or is there any cure for this? And there is a wonderful, very simple step that the author has provided. I actually experimented on this by myself. Maybe about 3 years or 4 years back, and that changed the entire paradigm for me. So the author, I will like to start with what the author says over here. So the author says, basically you'll have to ask two questions to yourself. One is the first question you need to ask yourself is, when does your productive life actually start? And the answer to that in most of the cases will be, either people will say that, yeah, I started my age at my productive life at the age of, I finished my college and then I got into work, so it's about 23 or 22 or 23 when it starts. Then the next question that you need to ask yourself is, when does this productive life actually end? And thanks to the wonderful revolution that has happened in the world with regard to the age of the people, where they're more fit and more they have a longer life, people will generally say either 70 or 75. So the question that you need to ask yourself again is, okay, can you now subtract 70 from 20? That is almost like 50 years of productive life that is there. And say you're like, let me take the example of myself. So I'm like 45 now, and I used to have a severe problem. So I was always thinking that, okay, now I just have 15 more years to in this race, and then I'll have to do many things that, and it was kind of very messy in my mind. But then when I actually understood that, put the same question what the author has told, and when I understood that I have at least my productive age till 70 or 75, that kept me with an answer that I have 30 years more. Can you imagine that I have 3 more decades of productive life ahead, which means that just by changing the paradigm, everything changes altogether. So this is a wonderful age for. This is a wonderful cure for many people who have got this age excusitis. So this is where I would stop right now, and then I will top this with another example once everybody else shares their
Sure.
view.
Good point. I
Yes,
think the
I
kind of
can add something.
yeah, please.
Statistics shows that if you are at age of 30, your 80% of productive life is still existing. And if you are at age of 50, 40% of your productive life is still existing. So think positive and start working now.
So now we're not old; we're pretty young. That way.
Yeah,
But it,
because
yeah,
we have seen because we have seen that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj take oath of Swarajya, means his own country, at the age of 16. And the colonel, founder of KFC, he started his KFC at age of 65. So age is not no excuse actually.
but, Sanders, as you said, he started KFC very old days. Yeah, yeah, that's a valid point. In fact, many of the
Yeah,
entrepreneurs are late. I agree your
Yeah.
point.
I would say that age is just a number, okay? So we should not get
Absolutely.
worried about it. Yeah. So
Right.
one of my so he's from the maternal side, my wife's side. So he did his PhD after getting retired. So you should never get stopped, okay? So if you want to achieve something you want to do, please do it, okay? So don't think about the age. There are a lot of entrepreneur who housewife entrepreneur or who have
yes,
started company after getting retired or at any age. So Warren Buffett is a live example. Okay, so though
yes,
he started from long time, but still he's investing in the market. So at his age, people generally get retired and get out of a market, but he already he's investing and he is one of the best investor everyone refers to. So don't think about the age. Yeah, so that is what. So don't feel about I'm too old or I'm too young. So go ahead with it, whatever be your age. So that is what I want to add.
yeah.
Interesting, quite interesting. Yeah, age is just a number. Just move ahead with life. That's true. I agree with your point,
Yeah.
guys. That's interesting. Anyone else want to add something?
I mean, I can't, at this point, I can't actually stop telling you one thing which I set for myself. So, I love running. Okay. And basically, I'm a long distance runner and I kind of enjoy it to the core. And the surprising part for me, at least, is that I started running when I was 38. And I would like to be, if you ask me why I started running, or one thing is I enjoy it. The other thing is it was a kind of a goal for me. It was an internal goal for myself, where the goal was that I should be able to beat 80% of the people who are 10 years younger to me. So that is the goal. So I participate in all the marathons wherever it is possible. I make it, and all that I'm interested is, of course, I'm interested in my running speeds and other things, but I'm more interested in the charts, the compilation charts where they show the age versus the time, and this is the satisfaction that I get. So that, like Jyoti had pointed out, I think age is just a number. It doesn't just mean anything.
Yes, yes. Great.
So other live example, I would like to add Anil Kapoor. Everyone knows Anil Kapoor, right? So he is
Yeah.
still young. So during I saw in the recent tweet, so his daughter said by the end of lockdown, Anil Kapoor would be at the age of 25. So that is how he's doing exercise and all. And he's getting younger as the age progresses. Okay, you can't say that
Yeah.
whatever age he is at present.
And
I think yes.
Jyoti, I think thanks for pointing out this. It actually reminds me of my father. My father is now 83. Okay, and
Okay.
unbelievable. He really inspires me even to this day. So he used to work up to 75. and he just gave up because it was kind of, he just wanted to take it easy and nothing else but that. So he goes for a morning walk, and imagine this man. He's actually, he does shaving twice a day, and many times I ask him, why do you want to shave? Why do you want to shave the twice a day? And he tells me, hey, I am only 75 years younger. I'm only 83 years young. So that is how he looks at it. It's very valid to what we are talking over here right now.
You really remembered us, Amitabh Bachchan. He's also younger by heart, like your father.
Maybe Amitabh Bachchan is earning more than what he used to earn earlier.
Actually, I heard somewhere the man's best years are between 40 to 60.
Absolutely.
Till the time you're not 40, you have not understood life. I mean, you're not matured yet. Life. I think that is where the thing lies. Good point, guys. Good point.
And another statistic, just to what you added, Jagannath, on this is that if Harvard Business Review actually conducted a review, did a survey as to what is the average age of people who really shine in the startup world, and the average age of a person who actually shines in the startup world is somewhere between 40 to 45. So that is the ideal age, is what they say.
Correct.
That's good. I think then you feel happy about life.
And reason behind it also explained in Think and Grow Rich. Means almost we have completed our major responsibilities of education, job, family, children, and we are free to think on the productive life.
Yes,
Great.
Because till 40 you'll be handling things, household things, and you may not be able to give you 100% to anything, any new initiative. But after 40, you know that the life is, you're free from all these distractions. You focus on your goals, give you 100%, and achieve your goals. I think that's the best thing what we are talking about. I think we are in the best phase of your life for that matter. Great, guys.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Good. All right. So that's interesting. So should we move to the next activities, the last one?
Sure. And I'm last person to talk about fourth and worst, I can say, excusitis. It's a luck excusitis. Many people are inferior due to luck. They think that something happened in their life. They think about it's not a good luck for me in the current life, or they blame others due to this person or this situation or this time they have faced the failure. Actually, I'm last for all excusitis, so I would like to share a big important story which may relate to all thinking of excusitis. Long ago, there was a king who announced a race of 20 kilometers, and who wins it, he wanted to reward his daughter in marriage and his half of the kingdom. The day arrived, the race started. Many enthusiastic youngsters, eligible bachelors participated in that. And after 5 kilometers, there was facility of free food, eateries and water and rest. Some of the people got diverted. After next 5 kilometers, there were facility of clothes and groceries and some goodies, free of cost. Some more people got diverted. After next 5 kilometers, there was a beautiful gallery of drinks and gold jewelries. Most of the people got diverted. and there was before the entrance of the king's palace, you can imagine situation of wicket in the cricket at the 99th run, what the concentration required. So at that time, there was a free offering of homes and many other major facilities. So almost all got diverted there. But one of the eligible bachelor person who was non-stop till last 20 kilometers, he entered the palace and touched the feet of king, and rest is the winning history. He got his daughter and half of the kingdom. So all these moral is all these distractions are nothing but excuses in the long-term planning. you plan for some goal in for next 5 years or next 1 year, but in between you got distracted. You get distracted and you change the plans. So it's not good. You are finding excuses and it's not good. So in another way, I'm coming back to luck excusitis. If child in the childhood, if you'll see, if child falls, parent come and he says, oh, you are fall down, it's not you're not the responsible. This wall or this floor or this door is responsible, or that some luck, some grahas, they say blames. Okay, so child also grows with that. So in the adult life, he says this is not my fault. In job loss or in whatever failure in his life, he thinks that I'm not the responsible. But I want to say that गिरते हैं शेर सवारी मैदान जंग में, वो तिफल ही क्या गिरे जो घुटनों पे चले. One Hindi शेर means if you started to walk after crawling, then falling down is itself the part of walking. You should not feel that why you fell down, why there is a bad luck or something. So if you think luck, you can't think new idea or new business. And I would like to add after some time, because we will see the remedy later. I can allow others to add their thoughts.
Why not? Good point. I mean, all the example of the king and the queen, that is great. So, anybody wants any questions for Rakesh?
I do not have a question, but I want to share a perspective with when I talk, when people actually talk about being associated with others being very successful. So here, they use this word very loosely. Actually, luck, good luck, or this luck, bad luck. They use it very loosely, and I do not know. I think it may be culturally imprinted in all of us. So what people only look at the front end of things. So they only see that when somebody is successful, they kind of see how much money he has got, how much wealth he is exhibiting, how much kind of car, what's the kind of cars that he has got. But actually, people do not step back and think for themselves what kind of back end hard work, or what kind of persistence, what kind of discipline, what kind of consistency this person actually exhibited in the back end, so that his front end is looking very successful. So this is a point that I wanted to make over here.
Correct. I think good point. What Sasi has told, that people don't go through understand the complete thing. They will start comparing. Oh, somebody has got success because he was better than you, or you're not as good as him. So that is what they say, and probably people don't understand the pain he has gone through. Maybe he has gone through more struggles, more failures, more rejections to get some success. So that is what we don't look at. So we find we tell us that guy is lucky. He just came out to be lucky, but he was not lucky. But he was actually persistent. He was more hardworking, and he was the one who is actually doing all these things which probably other person did not do. Good point. Anybody else want to add something?
Yeah, so I would like to add. So if we go by luck, then how a company will work? Okay, so there'll be we used to play housey games, right? Everyone remember, or we will put the number. So let's say a company Google want to choose CEO, so they will take the name Jyoti Ranjan is a CEO. Okay, then again they will take the name Niranjan Das is CTO, or so that is not the way luck happens. Okay, so whosoever is so. We all know Sundar Pichai, how much effort he has done and from how long he has worked through, and then he has been at a bigger post in Google. So it is not a luck, okay? It's a hard work, and you should not blame it. Always try to have a second thought on that. What has happened wrong with you, or if you fail in an exam, it is not a luck, okay? Because you have not prepared well. You have to give an exam, and you just gave, and you went there and gave your exam. So you will not pass, okay, unless you have not gone through the book, gone through the question answer, you have not revised it properly. You won't be able to achieve it good marks, or you won't be able to pass it. So have a second look at. So there might be some missing linkage happening. So there's no proper planning, no organization has happened. So that's the reason you have failed. It is not luck, not the luck part, or you have failed, or the other thing. So that's my thought on the luck executives
Good
as
point.
well.
The link is something we need to identify. Good point.
Yeah, I would
Anybody?
like to add.
Yeah.
I would like to add a one-liner to what Jyoti just mentioned. So it's always said that luck always prefers the prepared. So the prepared
Yeah,
always happens in the back end, and everything else looks in the front end. Thanks.
Correct.
great,
Correct.
great,
Yeah.
Sisi.
Preparedness.
Great, Sisi. I would like to tell the Sanskrit shloka on that exactly. Udyamaha sahasam dhairyam buddhihi shaktihi parakramaha sharete yatra vartante tatra daivam sahayakrita. Means effort, daring, patience, talent, power, courage. All these 6 points are very helpful than the luck.
Good
Absolutely.
point. Very good point. The Sanskrit line is quite powerful. That's nice.
I just I just bring one story in this context. If you see, like anybody, you see, they actually climb to the top in any occupation. You say, like whatever the occupation, it is all about persistence. Persistence with the commitment that they have taken the decision and they have to commit to be there. So I'll just bring a short story on this. There was a CEO in a company, and he was about to retire. So his decision was, he had a son also. So whoever the top executives, they were all in the same thought that possibly this post will go to his son, because anyway he is a capable also. But the CEO had different thoughts. So once he called all the executives to his personal room, and he gave one small plants to each of them, and said that you take care of this plant and come back after 5 to 6 months. I'll see that whoever actually planted or grown up this plant to a beautiful you know um, lucrative plant. So that person will be actually my CEO. So he gave those seats, and he gave to all these 5 6 top executives. So after a month or so, they keep discussing about their plants. So what is the status of the plant of yours? So the other person used to say, like, it is all good. It is growing slowly. And now I have got small green leaves. The other person will say, I got small flowers also. So one of them actually was very silent guy. He used to do also the same thing, watering the plants, fertilizing, and they both actually, husband and wife, they used to take care of the seed by watering and daily looking after the pot. So nothing used to happen. So he cannot actually explain anything to the to his friend circle, saying that my plant is nothing actually happening there. So that process actually went for 2 3 months, and he was not able to explain anything actually, because his seed was not actually growing. And the others were telling, like, my plants are very good; they are now flowering, and all those things. So this way, he was very worried, and he was telling his wife also, see, their plants are very nice. They are saying that it is coming very nicely, but nothing happening for us. So wife used to say, so let's concentrate on the process. He has given the seed. No, let's do it. So at the end of 6 months, maybe something will happen. Let's wait for that time. So you keep doing that, whatever we are doing. Okay. So 6 months came. Now everybody was called into the same room, and they were asked to bring their plants along with them. So he came with only pot. Nothing was there. Only seed is there. Seed also is gone by the time. Okay. Now everybody has come with very nice flowering pots and all those things. So he was just standing at the end. So now the CEO comes and says, "Okay, his name, maybe we just call him, Radhesham. You please come." Now I select Radhesham as my CEO. So everybody is asking, is what happened? Why our pots are very nice? Okay. So he then disclosed what exactly. He said, I had given boiled seeds to everybody, and it was not supposed to come as plants. Okay. And this person has actually, followed the process, and he didn't get that. And you people all are cheated. So if you see from the outside, what we are calling, lock exquisites, okay, might be the person was actually thinking in the inside himself, think these people are more luckier than me. Okay, because they are getting the plant and they might have that chance of being a CEO, and I am not. So it is all about following the process. We cannot actually deviate from the process that has been defined, and we must be consistent and persistent with the process.
I mean, a
Right.
very good story actually. I like this story. I don't know. I mean, all
Yeah.
of them might have liked this story was very good actually. I mean, what happens is when you start comparing with others, so you don't understand that the truth is somewhere else. Somebody is lucky.
Yes.
We think that way, but actually, it's not a luck thing. It's actually the process. We have to follow what Niranjan is telling. If you follow the process, you get the success. Good point. Good point, Niranjan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So at the end, I want to tell the remedies on the luck anxieties.
Definitely. If you're looking for
Uh,
some.
yeah. If people think about luck or bad luck, when if there is a failure, they are blaming their family or spouse, or sometimes they are literally blaming to the government also, because it's a pastime, right? Government is not listening. Family person cannot be blamed because they are listening. So it is a pastime for the people to blame always. And for the remedies, I want to tell them that the book also says that you should understand the law of cause and effect. In simple words, people say karma. You should know if the law of cause and effect. If you are doing good, you will get good things in your life. I will show the good books like Laws of Karma. It's written by uh, Hirabai Thakkar in Marathi. Not a problem. And another remedy is take the responsibility of failure. Means whatever happens, you should take the responsibility and think of possibilities. Be positive. If you want to start something in your life and you are not having enough surroundings or enough money, think of possibilities like how you can take uh, you can borrow from others or donations or contributions. And uh, another thing, cut the but and add their and, or vice versa. Means if first half of your sentence is negative, add their but. Means I have money, but what to say? I have I sorry, I think jumbled. First half the sentence is positive, then add their and. Means I have money and I want to do business. We should not give the excuses ahead, but you have to add the and. And if the first half of the sentence is negative, you should add and but. Means I don't have money, but I will earn it. You have to think on the
Right.
possibilities. Yeah. So always be positive and uh, you know the cause and effect law. That's it.
Very good. I
Nice.
think points are very good. Karma and everything. The last thing you told that I have money, but you talk positive. If you don't have that thing, also you tell I don't have, but yeah, whatever it is. So thing is being more positive, being more optimistic, more assertive is all it takes. Anybody else want to add something on top of this, or you agree with what?
Yeah, I would like to add again from the book part. So the same on the vaccine for luck exclusivity. So the author talks about what happens with Mr. Success. So Mr. Success receives the setbacks and he leaves the profit. Mr. Mediocre loses and he fails to leave. So that is how. So whenever if you feel setback, you should not stop yourself. Start exploring more. So rejections are normal. Okay, yeah, you will get
Right.
rejected every time whenever you take it. Okay, don't like what Rakesh was telling, but part. So I know Java, but I cannot code. Okay, or I know .NET, but I cannot develop website. I know .NET and I will develop a website. Or yeah, I can do it. Okay, so changing the word, it's only mixing changing
Yeah.
of and word, adding on top of what Rakesh said. That changes your attitude towards what you are taking further.
Possibly.
So, yeah. So taking a positive attitude is a very important thing, and that is how we can get rid of the issue what we are facing.
All right. Good,
Yeah.
good, guys. Good discussion. I hope all of you had a good time. Anybody else want to
Yes,
add?
yes.
Yeah, I think we had a nice discussion, and it was really informative and yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Jagan, for having this kind of discussion. Thanks to all the panelists.
Thank you
Thanks a lot,
all.
everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
this is a
Jagan,
great.
Jyoti,
Thank you,
Shashi, and
Nirmal.
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks, Jyoti. Thanks, Niranjan. Thanks, Satsi, and thanks, Rakesh, for all the stories. And stories were amazing. Everything was so good. I think all of us got a lot of learnings out of it. In fact, it's all about life
Yes,
learnings. I'm sure the audience who is watching this video, they also got a lot of learnings. These excuses are, we also been victim of it. Now we're practicing how to come over it. So that's a part and parcel of life. We know the problem. We are trying to find a solution. We found a solution. Now we're trying to implement. Some cases we have already started implementing. So that is quite good. And our idea will be how to be more, as some people have told, apply the knowledge what you have. That is more important. So obviously we'll be applying it. And let's try to find out some next discussion, maybe next talk, so we can talk about how from previous talks, so certain points we have discussed, and we also applied in our life, and how it helped us to come over those kind of excuses. I think that's quite wonderful. And thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. I can tell you that being part of this Awakening Mind workshop is gives you good platform for everybody to share the knowledge, to know the things. So if you are looking for personal growth, internal growth, and kind of a growth platform, you should be part of this session. You should be part of our book clubs, our talk shows, and it will definitely give you an amazing platform to develop and be better. Okay. So with this, I'm done, and I think all are done. So wish you all the best, guys. Have a good time.
Jagannath,
Yes, something.
I just want to take maybe about 15-20 seconds to kind of set my context to where Jyoti started this all. So if you remember, Jyoti actually started saying that excusitis is basically a disease, and what I think we all kind of understand at the end of this discussion is that there is both a cure as well as there is both a medicine and there is also a vaccination for this, and it is
yes,
only the question of finding the going to the shop and finding the medicine and the vaccination which suits you. So that is the only thing that you have to take, and everything else will come up. Everything.
And the
very
timing
nice
of it,
closing. Yeah.
another better it is.
Yeah. So there's just one more point from my side. So if you want to be successful, don't think of the excuse. Okay, whatever you have, you start taking the initiative and finish it. Okay, whatever may be the problem. Everyone has problem. No one is 100% fit. Okay, everyone has issue at their home. Even the richer, they are also not happy. So don't take anything as an excuse. Okay, if you want to become successful, go ahead and achieve your goal. Yeah, that's it from my
Yeah,
side.
very
That's
nice. Very
that's
nice
good.
discussion.
Good, guys. I like this session a lot, and we'll definitely let you know about all of us, the audience, and everybody. We'll let you know the topic for the next talk show, which will happen on next Sunday mostly. And let's be ready for the talk show, and let's get excited and see you again. Okay. With this,
Thank
we
you
are
all.
signing
Thank
off.
you.
Thank you
Bye.
all.
Happy learning.
Have a good night.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.